Hello, YouTube. All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Noise RV Adventures. Okay, I'm on a quest right now to get this RV to be like an off-grid tiny house on wheels, but I'm trying to do it in a cheap manner. And we did take the RV out, and it was off-grid capable, and it was able to run the 12-volt DC systems. But without an inverter, I couldn't run 120 volts unless I hook up Little Blue's inverter. Now, I did have a 2,000 watt inverter that I had bought for this RV, but didn't get a chance to install it yet. And I was looking at how to install it and stuff, and it got really complicated because they wanted all sorts of crazy stuff, like wire couldn't be longer than 3 feet. It had to be 0 gauge AWG or 1 gauge AWG, no more than that. And 3 feet, and they wanted the battery located outside where it could vent, and the inverter on the inside. They said, do not put the inverter under the hood, even though I'm looking at the hood and I don't even see any room where I could install it under the hood. But anyhow, I decided to jimmy rig the whole system right now to test it out, because I was trying to figure out how I was going to hook it up, and if I was going to put the battery like under the seat and get AGM or gel batteries, which would be super expensive, or go with the cheaper standard RV batteries, which are lead acid, and store them here under this compartment here, which would open up. And well, now the door's in the way, but basically I would store them under here and then figure out how to punch a hole to access the inside where I had to install the inverter. But after looking at it, I started getting really depressed. I was like, this is becoming ultra complicated. Well, I went ahead and took my inverter, which was this Jupiter 2,000 watt inverter I had bought from Harbor Freight, and went ahead and mounted it on the wall. And as you can see, it's on and evidently working. Because what I did was this. I have a vehicle leisure or house battery in the under the hood. That's the 100 amp hour one that it has for running 12 volt appliances, as well as, if I hook up an inverter. So what I did was I took a jumper cable right now and just ran the jumper from there directly to my inverter. So it's coming through a window right now, which is obviously not the final setup. But I wanted to make sure the inverter would work and that everything would work. It says power level. I guess this is how much power I'm using. Because when I had it on earlier without a device on, it was at 0. So right now, I suppose it's on because that's the meter here. It's telling how much power I'm actually using up. Now the car is generating electricity right now. We're using the car's engine as a generator, and it's generating electricity through the alternator and charging up the vehicle battery as well as house battery. Then we're pulling power through this jumper cable out to the inverter, the 2,000 watt inverter, which right now I have one output that I'm running on this cable. I know, sorry for the mess. RV's not done, but we do want to make sure we can go off-grid and run 120 volt appliances. So I've opened up the rear window, and what I did was I actually took the RV's, the RV has a 30 amp cable. I don't know if you can see that big thick cable. And then I plugged it into a blue adapter that takes 30 amps down to 15 amps. And then plugged it into our multi-plug outlet, which is this cable that runs to the inverter. And that means the vehicle's 12 volt systems now currently come on. Obviously I have to deal with the window situation. I probably have to do it with the window slightly open. I do have the TV on right now, and as you can see, we're running 120 volt. So with the car running, even with it off, it should work. The concern is monitoring the vehicle battery levels and also connecting and disconnecting the vehicle battery from the leisure battery. The starter battery from the leisure battery, which I still need to work on. But as of right now, without really spending any additional money, I have a working 120 volt capability for this RV. Although it requires opening windows and it looks really bad right now. But you can see we can watch TV. I'm going to turn that off for now. But that means all of this comes on. And if I really wanted to, I could switch this on. So this plug, a multi-plug outlet, 120 volts would work just like I would on there. And I could actually probably, see the monitor came on here. Because the monitor was on apparently. So you can see I can run 120 volt appliances even though I'm going to turn it off right now. Because I'm going to try the big test. And I don't know if it'll work or it'll blow circuits or cause a fire. So right now I'm going to turn everything off. The TV is off. Everything is off right now. I'm going to attempt to run the air conditioner. Which may end up blowing circuits. Because right now, let's take a look at the power meter. The idea is to run the vehicle's system. It says it's on 1. I don't know what's up with that. Everything's shut off, but it says it's using 1 level. I don't know if that power level is how much we're using or what's going on. And of course, this cable may not be the best. But we're going to attempt to try to run the air conditioner just briefly on it, just to see if it would turn on. Because right now, as far as the vehicle is concerned, it is running, the RV is hooked up to shore power. Although it's only 15 amps and not 30. So I don't know if that's going to work or not. But I'm going to attempt to turn the AC on. So we got our system. I'm going to leave it on low. I'm going to try to set it to cool. And sure enough, it's beeping and not working. So I don't know if you heard the beep right there. That was the AC tried to come on, but it wasn't able to pull enough power. So this is a big over rooftop air conditioner, and I was not able to generate enough power to kick it on. Probably because my battery, I only have one little tiny, I think it's a 95, 85 amp hour battery, and you probably need at least 400 to 500. Instead of 100 amp hour, you need 400 or 500. So to run the air conditioning, I would probably need a larger battery bank. So that means the air conditioning is pretty much out. But it seems like no circuits blew. The inverter is still showing green. The fact that it's working like this gives me some hope that I could possibly, if I'm totally off-grid, wanting to run 120 volt power, I may set up some wiring and bring it in here and hook it up to the inverter from the starter battery. And that way I don't have to deal with having batteries inside the RV, because then you're going to have venting issues if you're using cheap batteries like I would be using lead acid. You can bypass that by going to gel or AGM, but then they have their own special requirements for charging and other weird stuff. And they're very expensive. So doing it this way, I don't spend any additional money. And since I'm not full-time living in the RV off-grid, this might be doable. It didn't cost me anything. I already have the inverter, and all I needed was the cable, which I had. So I may keep it like this and use it like this as a temp thing, but more than likely I will make a cable. Maybe I could end up cutting this cable and putting screw tabs on it and making it prettier and running it out to the engine compartment, maybe through there if there's an opening somewhere down there, instead of going outside through the window. That would allow me to run the car, run the system. I would not be able to run the air conditioner, which is kind of sad, but I would be able to run, in theory. Let me see if this monitor comes on. I'm going to try to turn it on, and it looks like it's got power, and yeah, and it comes on. There's no signal or anything, so that means I could hook my computer up and I could run everything. Now, I could watch TV. Basically, the RV now becomes an off-grid powered tiny house on wheels. And we can generate our own electricity by running the vehicle engine and charging it up. I can plug in here. I'd have to open a little gap in the window to pull that wire in. The alternative is actually to wire a 12-volt system, I mean not 12, 120 volts, directly into the RV's panel here for the power distribution, which I don't think I want to do. Maybe an electrician can do it. Maybe I might risk it one day, but for now, I think I'll just hook it up like this, which is just fine by me. Just, if I needed to run it, I just open the window, a tiny gap. I could shut that down and just leave a little tiny opening there. And hook it up and run it like this. Now, right now, the vehicle is indeed running, so it's generating electricity. I want to see if there's enough power. We're going to turn the TV on. The TV's going to be turned on right now. Okay, so the TV is coming on. And what I'm going to try to do is turn off the vehicle. So that means we'd be running 120 volts directly off the the inverter running off the vehicle's leisure battery and starter battery. So I'm going to turn off the car now. So at this point, oops, I can hear the talking there, we're going to have to turn off in a minute. But you can see, I don't have to have the vehicle running to run 120 volts. I'm going to go turn the TV off. You can hear the TV is running. But it looks like the 120 volt appliances are working. The issue will be, so TV's on, and let me mute this here. Okay, so news is on. You can see the TV is working fine. Although, you know, it's getting bad reception here. But at my current location is having a bad reception. Let's see what other channel I can get here. Channel 6 usually has good reception. So we can watch TV. You don't have to have the vehicle running to watch the TV. That means at night, you know, like if I'm sitting here or parked somewhere in the middle of nowhere, I can actually run my TV and other appliances. I can run my charger now, which is running off 120 volts. But that's silly to convert it to 120 volts and then back down to like 5 volts or something like that for the USB charger. It'd be better to go right directly off the 12 volts. But yeah, we are now operational without having to have little blue hooked up. So the vehicle's capable of generating its own 120 volts at this point because of the inverter. I don't know. I don't think there's another inverter in the system. Remember, I bought this vehicle used, so I'm not sure, you know, what all the hookups were. But right now we're generating our own electricity using the vehicle's leisure battery and house battery, which is right now wired together. But I'm going to be fixing that, you know, so that I can disconnect the two. I think it has a manual switch that connects and disconnects, but it's not working right. So what I've done for now is I've temporarily, I got another jumper cable that I've hooked up the vehicle and the house battery. And the reason for that is so that it'll charge. So I'm actually pretty happy. I'm pretty stoked because it means the RV is actually functional without spending any money. I can. The question is, I wonder if the refrigerator would work. But see, a refrigerator is going to use a lot of power, and with only a 100 amp hour battery, I don't think it would be a good idea to try to run the refrigerator. And without the ability to charge it with solar, which would be continual, I think the refrigerator is not usable, which is kind of sad. I can increase the battery bank, but then I have to hide the battery bank and wire it somehow, probably underneath in that storage compartment, and wire it back up through the system and continue to come in like this. That way, you know, it's a system I understand. It's not too complicated. As is right now, we have 120 volts. We can plug in 120 volt appliances here on this end if we wanted to. The only reason I have this back cable going back to the back is so that I could plug it into the entire system, like my microwave. I don't know if the microwave would work. That's 800 watts. I wonder if we should try it. See how it's blinking right now? The issue is the vehicle's not starting right now, which is really probably going to make it not work. Probably could kill all my... If I try to run it, I could end up killing the vehicle and the house battery, and then my RV won't start. So it may not be that good an idea. I did hear this thing beeping when we tried to run the air conditioner, which meant it was trying to pull more power than could be pulled. But I'm going to try to run the microwave, because that would actually be useful. So let me start the vehicle up to give us the best chance of success here. So at this point right now, the vehicle is generating electricity and sending it through the batteries, which is sending it through the inverter, which is sending it through the RV, which is sending it through the microwave. So I'm going to try to heat up some food. I want to see if this actually works. This is my ribs that my son and I cooked up earlier when we went off grid to the compound to try it out. So at this point, what I would like to do is to try to heat this rib and see if I can't warm it up for dinner tonight. So let me pause the camera. I'm going to go ahead and try this out. So I'm going to put the ribs on here, and if this works, hey, the RV is semi-functional off-grid, capable of generating its own power. So these are my ribs. Got 4 ribs here. Looks like one needs to be cooked some more. I see some red on it. That's all right, because if the microwave works, all right, pumps on and working, so water's working, systems are operational, and we are actually off grid, so we're generating all our own power and everything. So we're gonna try this microwave out. Cross your fingers. Get a little cover here so we don't make a huge mess. All right, and let's try heating this for 2 minutes. So clear, 2 minutes. Start, and we have working microwave. Let's go look at the power meter. The power meter says we're up to 3. I don't know if you can see the 3 dots. Can you see that? The 3, 1, 2, 3 bars. So we're still within the 2000 range. We're not using too much power. Just sadly, the air conditioning won't run, but it probably would run a window unit. So that may be an option for me, is to get a window unit and then figure out how to rig it so I can mount it at the door or something. I'll figure something out. But we have a microwave now, a working microwave. And that means I could actually heat food up. I could make popcorn. I'm willing to bet I could probably run the refrigerator, but it would require the vehicle running. So what you could do is you could set the vehicle while you're driving, if you were driving an RV, to have the inverter on and running the refrigerator to freeze everything, like the freezer portion and stuff. And then when you shut it off, it starts to warm up. And then each day or every couple hours, you could run the vehicle and have it generating electricity to make the refrigerator cold. Or you could switch it possibly to the propane, liquid propane system, and have it work that way. So the vehicle is truly becoming an off-grid home, an off-grid capable home, having the ability to run like convenience items like the microwave here is awesome. Yeah, this is really good. More than likely, now the microwave is about 800 watts. Oh, I hear the thing beeping. It means battery is actually getting low. See, even though we're not drawing anywhere near the maximum power, okay, now it's stopped. It means battery's charging back up again. So it was able to run the microwave. We ran it for 2 minutes. Food should be fairly hot. Yeah, you can see steam. I can feel heat coming off it. So the food is hot. I just need to make some rice. I could probably run my rice cooker at 300 watts and cook right now if I wanted to. But what I'm going to do is shut the system down, make sure my TV's off, shut everything down, and let the vehicle run a little bit more to charge the battery back up. Shut off the inverter, because the inverter supposedly draws like 1.2 or 2 amps even when it's off. So right now the system is shut down. I'm going to unplug everything, let the vehicle run for a little bit to charge up the house battery and the inverter, the house battery and the vehicle battery. The next thing I need to do is look at the possibility of adding another battery bank so that instead of 100 amp hours or so, I could have about 400. But that may be done over time. You're supposed to get it all at once, because when you use weaker batteries, stronger ones, I think you end up making the whole system weak. So that may have to wait until I can raise some funds, save some money up, and decide if I really need it, if I really want it, because it starts to get expensive as you add electrical power. So that's what we're looking at right now. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thank you for tuning in and joining me. I hope you found this video informational, if not somewhat interesting. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. If you enjoy the content on this channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and share this video if you find it worth sharing. Until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.